Alhamdulillah, I got an opportunity to tell something about Liferay in front of you people. Alhamdulillah. Uh, yes, shall we start now? Today, my scope has been given to talk on introduction to Liferay, why go with Liferay digital experience platform on a social network portlet, and open service gateway initiative. So let we will go to see the introduction to the Liferay. Okay, Liferay is nothing but it's a open source technology built on top of Java. It has been introduced in 2002 for different purpose, not for the portal purpose. This Liferay has been introduced for one kind of church where they want to maintain their things. Then after that, it reached to the people, and people want that to be a portal. And after to that, they started working, and they joined with other big companies, and they hired people to make it very comfortable, and they have made it to have a group of people, and they started company with Liferay. In 2005, they have introduced new versions. They had a big journey from 2005 to till now, until I think before to Liferay portal become a digital experience platform. They are using one kind of architecture which has been implementing from the starting to till to that version. Then they brought another version where digital experience platform came into the picture. So let me tell you the basics of Liferay following some standards. GSR 186 and GSR 286 is nothing but Portlet 1.0 and Portlet 2.0. When they have started their Liferay, they were using Java specification request. It's a standard. From that standard, they will make their framework, so that there are other portals also there available in the market. Like we have a SharePoint, we have other IBM portal and all we have. But those also following the same standard. But apart from that, Liferay has been implemented their own framework, and they have integrated with this Java specification request, and they are following this specification, so that whatever, if we have worked in other platform, like in IBM portal, in SharePoint, if we have a knowledge of developing the portal, the similar concept we can able to achieve it over here in Liferay. Then migrating from other portal application to Liferay application is pretty much easy. It has JSR support.
Hmm.
Can you? Hello. Yeah. See, after to that JSR 186, they have used JSR 286 specification, which is much advanced features they have added in this Portlet 2.0. In that, it's like if we have a portal, and in that portal we will have portlets. Portlets nothing but a kind of website, complete website. They have brought up into a particular portlet, and we can have a multiple portlets in a portal. So this JSR 286, they brought up with one of the good feature, interportlet communication. Like we have a multiple portlets in one portal, and they can able to communicate each other. Like for example, we have portlet A and we have portlet B. Whenever some operation get done in portlet A, then portlet B also get reflect into that. Whenever any changes happen in portlet A, the changes will make the send the request to the portlet B, and portlet B will also get changed by itself. through this interportlet communication. This has been introduced in GSR 286, and advanced feature they have added into it. Then Liferay has a good get a good response from the market, and they integrated much more feature on it. Then Liferay was upgraded based on the business need and market specification. As the system got upgraded, Liferay has taken the older version. Like we have a older version, 5.2, 6.0. If we want to start the Liferay career, we here currently we will start from 6.2, because 5.2, 6.0, 6.1 versions are much older than this 6.2, because 6.2 following this JSR 286 specification. So this 5.2, 6.0, 6.1, we have some documentation. We don't have development documentation. Liferay doesn't provide this right now, but we can able to get 6.2 documentation. One is from the admin part, another one is from the development part. Both we can see in the Liferay portal. And which architectures are more or less similar. The foundation of 5.2, 6.0, 6.1, 6.2, till that all the foundations are similar. They have not changed anything. From Liferay portal 7.0, I think 4 or 5 years back, they brought Liferay digital experience platform, which come up with powerful architecture, design, and framework. They have completely changed the architecture, but the foundation are similar, but the way of doing things are get different in Liferay digital experience platform, that we will see in next slide. Okay, now we have so much of portals outside there, and we have website outside there. There are so many what I can tell is, there are so many websites. There are so many built-in frameworks are there. Just we can use that to build a website. But why to go with Liferay? The most important thing in a corporate is to accommodate every need at one place. Here, Liferay does the job. Liferay get all the information from across the internet and bring those information to your portal at one instance, where Liferay plays your roles to provide the end-to-end digital platform experience to the companies as well as to the customer. So we will get an option in Liferay where we can have a complete site for organization. Like we can have a complete site for intranet people, in the sense the people who are working in the company, and they want to have a different website for them, and they want to have a another website for the customers. So here Liferay provides that feature. It can we can create a multiple sites. From there we can have a site for our company, and they can have another site which can they keep it for the people who are for customers, for people outside the network who want to check their website. So this can be done from Liferay. This is one part. And second is, you want something built in solid technology. Liferay is built in Java. So outside we can have a lot of Java resource. Through that we can able to develop Liferay DXP very easily. And it has been fully featured and fully customizable. Like Liferay has the feature, they brought up this plug and play feature. There are more portlets already available in the Liferay. Just we have to use it. For example, if we want a message board where we want to communicate with each other in the intranet, Liferay provides that portlet as well. And we can have the message portlet, and through that message portlet we can pass the message to the intranet as well as to the extranet people. And it is very easy to use. Anyone can able to install it into their in business, and they can able to develop the application by themselves. That many features are already given from Liferay. For example, if we see Wix, there's a website called Wix. Just it's similar to that, like plug and play. Just we have to take the if we want header, if we want body, if we want to add image, those things we can just plug and play in that Wix. Similar kind of things over here. Liferay already provides 5 to 6 years back these features. And if you are a small organization, the interface should be initiative and the default safe enough for you to get your site up quickly. For see, we are starting a business, and we want to explore our business to the market, and we are thinking into it which technology we have to use for better reach to the people, and whatever the technology comes in the future that we want to integrate with our current website. At that time we will be in the thought of creating a website, and on which technology we will get into it. Then uh, we will waste a lot of our time on thinking of which technology we need to pick to explore our business. So here Liferay provides a best feature here is there are so many technologies outside which can be integrated in Liferay itself. For example, if we want to use yes a script called VUE, there is a script is there, that if you want that's a different script, not from the Liferay. But if we want to use that, Liferay integrates that view js in the portal itself, where we can develop with that view js. It's a front end actually. We are from the developer, we know that what is front end and back end. Okay, this front end we can use it. If we don't want a vue.js, we want JavaScript, yeah, we can use JavaScript. If we don't want JavaScript, we want to use jQuery, yeah, we can use jQuery to develop the portal. If we don't want jQuery, we want something else, or Liferay creates its own script. It's a metal.js. If you want that, we can use that metal.js. Liferay has the flexibility to add any technology into it, and Liferay keep on doing it till now. They are most of the technologies which are very familiar, that Liferay has accommodated itself into the Liferay portal itself to develop a application. And you will get complete enterprises solution and cost effective easy implementation, flexibility of development, and express setup in the sense Liferay gives you that feature. Just that there will be a portal, just you need to download the portal and extract it, and do the configuration. Your portal has been started, that's all. Just 5 minutes work. And after to that, once your server has been started, just you need to plug and play it into your portal. Then your website can be start in 5 to 10 minutes. And like that, you can create a multiple website that Kalim will demonstrate on that. And you will have a option to use the out of box portlet which Liferay provides. And there is out of box port, you will get UI UX compatibility. Here most of the things like plug and play, already as I said, they are out of box portlet. If you want that, you can use that out of box portlet. This out of box portlet has all the features which is required for a digital experience platform. And they are more than, I think, 60 out of box portlet is nothing but we have a portal. In that portal, Liferay already provides some portlets to you. You can use that portlets which are very usable for digital experience platform as well as to the business. Whatever requirements for the business people, that they have kept in mind, and they have created these modules. For example, if you want a message board, Liferay provides you the message board. If you want a wiki pedia, like Wikipedia, you have a Wikipedia portlet itself in Liferay. If you want if you want something else like social platform, you can have social platform in Liferay. Those all many features are given by Liferay itself. And one of the big things Liferay provides here is Liferay give you a default languages, like they are I think 26 to 30 number of languages Liferay provides. If you want your portal into Arabic, yeah, Liferay provide you that feature. Just you need to click one click on Arabic, and it will completely change your portal into Arabic. If you want Portuguese, if you want Spanish, if you want anything, any languages which Liferay gives you, that languages you can change your complete portal into it, and you will get option for your customized code. Your customized code will not be related to Liferay, and Liferay provides you a feature that from that feature you can add that language, whatever language you want to show it to the customer, that you can show that you can add it into your development, and you can show that language, you can show your content into that language from the Liferay portal. Liferay has the big features uh, in the part of in the part of language. Okay. Next slide is digital experience platform. Okay. Liferay digital experience platform formerly is a Liferay portal. Liferay just named it as Liferay digital experience platform, and from Liferay 7.0 this has been added. From 7.0, then its journey take to Liferay 7.1, then 7.2. Currently 7.3 is going on. It's a software to design. Liferage is just a software to design and manage and bring end-to-end customer experience for every customer touch point. Okay, Liferage DXP collects the customer data from multiple systems throughout the enterprises to handle and enhance the entire customer relationship. Like company website, it will take Liferay will take care of company website. If we want our portal to be a customer support portal, yeah, Liferay can do that. If we want that our portal into a content relational mapping, yeah, customer relational mapping, yeah, we can do that. Even we have another big feature. Most of the people are telling Liferay as web application framework as well as content management framework. So Liferay has this big advantage in that Liferay architecture itself. It has been shown that if you want to keep the Liferay is a portal. If you want to keep the Liferay portal as a portal of a business, you can show it. You can have it. Or else, if you just want to keep it as a content management system, yeah, you can use the portal as content management system. Your UI will be different. Your application will be different. But whatever the content you are showing to the customer, that is coming from the Liferay. Yeah, you can make the Liferay as content management system, and you can use that contents, and Liferay provide you the configuration, and it explores the configuration to the another application. From that configuration you can integrate into your new application where you have not used Liferay. There you can use Liferay content management, Liferay contents, where you can add the contents and you can explore it into the another application that Liferay provides you. And Liferay DXP is created to work within your current business process and technologies and provide a custom solution that uniquely meets your needs. Okay, your customers are looking for flawless unified experience. Yes, you can deliver them with Liferay. Whatever customer required, the complete feature, whatever the current market, that entire thing you can accommodate in Liferay, and you can given to your customers. Those many features you can see from Liferay. Okay, now we'll go to the license part. Okay, Liferay gives you just two license. Yeah, we all will think that there are big company like IBM. We have big company like Microsoft. They are also providing the portal. Then while Liferay is becoming boom in the market, and there are so many developments are taking care. There are so many developments started in Liferay, and most of the insurance companies are migrating to Liferay. Because Liferay has two licenses over here. Liferay given you the community edition, and Liferay gives you option for enterprises edition. So what is the difference between community and enterprise edition is Liferay has a license for this community edition published under GNU Lesser General Public License, which is free of cost. You can easily download from the market, from the portal. There is a source for where they have released the first life where they have released the first portal. And Liferay till now keep on releasing their portal into this SourceForge.net. whatever the new edition they are releasing, that you can we can get it in the Liferay portal. And if we want the older version, that we can found it in sourceforge.net. And this license makes the portal into a free of cost, and anyone can able to download this. So what is the difference between Liferay Community Edition and Liferay Enterprises Edition? Liferay Enterprises Edition will come with a paid license, where business need to purchase that license. And what the benefits you will get if you are going into the Enterprises Edition? This license coming with portal level support, security alerts for anything you need a support from the portal level. For example, you have a customized code. Now you are you are trying to customize the Liferay portal. At the time you can't able to do that from the code level. Liferay give you the support. Liferay gives you the support to achieve that. And security alerts, see, there are so many issues, vulnerabilities comes into the market as the technology is developing. So whenever the issues comes, Liferay will give you a security alerts to the portal who has the Enterprises Edition, and they will send you the patch updates. This patch updates will be come to the Liferay Enterprises Edition, but it will not come for the Community Edition. Once the Community Edition they released, then people started using the Community Edition, whatever the issues they are facing. And this Community Edition, people will have a community where the developers will help each other to resolve their issues. At the time, whatever the issues they are facing, that will be get resolved in the Enterprise Edition. In after releasing the Community Edition in 1 or 2 months, they will release this Enterprises Edition. Okay, this Enterprise Edition will have a service pack, where where the initial version, which is released by Liferay, has facing some issues. Then they will make a security alerts, and they will create a patches for that, and they will deliver with the new service pack. As we have in Windows, Windows have a service pack 1, we have service pack 2. Like that, Liferay will have a service pack along with the security patches and security update patches. And they will even give you the feature of emergency hot fixes and web and phone support, etc. Okay, then integrated single sign-on. Okay, why I came to this here is, we have a portal. We have a complete portal. Now every portal will have a login. Okay. Uh, One thing is, default login will be there, like which will be connected with the database. User will come to the portal, and he will click on the login button. He will get a form, and he will fill the form, and he will submit if you want to sign in. Or if you want to log in, just login button will come. He will enter the username and password. He will log in into that user. This is a normal process which every web application will have. But Liferay gives some default features, like along with the login, Liferay gives us a integrated single sign-on. At a one click, we can able to log in into that portal. That I will talk it over here. That Liferay provides one of the best features is LDAP. LDAP is integrated in Liferay itself, and just we need to make a LDAP server. In every big companies have that LDAP server. There they will maintain the entire customer confidential, and user confidential, and the employees confidential. Everything they will keep it in LDAP. Those credential will be there. Those information will be there in LDAP. And now Liferay has been integrated with LDAP. Wherever the LDAP is configured, those configuration we need to use it in Liferay. That, for example, I will show you how where it will come. 1 minute, let me show you that. I think I have it here. Yeah, this is a Liferay setting page, where this is the securities comes over here. Liferay gives this default feature. If you see it over here, we have a LDAP configuration. in this LDAP configuration, we have a complete set of configuration page where we can configure the LDAP server configuration. And once we configure that, what it will do, whoever the users are there in the LDAP server, Liferay will bring all those users into it. And Liferay, it has the own API, and it will create all the users into the portal, and it will the user will able to log in with that credential. This LDAP features gives you that, and it has been integrated in Liferay itself. Okay. Then cache server. Cache server is also a single sign on. Cache server configuration is given in the SSO. This SSO, if can you able to see here, right? SSO. Hello, can you able to see my screen?
Arman, we are seeing just your presentation.
Okay, one
We are
minute.
not able to see.
One minute. Now can you able to see?
Yeah, now able to see. Yeah. Thank you,
Uh,
Arman.
this many configuration, there is a configuration tab in Liferay. This many configuration has been given in Liferay. Just here we are going to talk about this security Liferay gives to us. We are talking about this LDAP configuration. This LDAP configuration, once we go into that LDAP configuration, complete LDAP configuration set of things has been given by Liferay. There we need to configure it. Once we configure it, Liferay will pull all the users things whatever available in the LDAP server, that we will get it into this Liferay portal, and Liferay has the own API, and it will create all the user details into the portal itself and allow the user to log in. See, for example, there are in my company, I have a 1 lakh employees, and those many employees I can't able to create in each portal. So what they will do, they will keep LDAP server in a company, and they will maintain all those confidential and credential in LDAP server itself. Now this Liferay gives us the feature of LDAP. Just we need to configure here, and Liferay will pull all the 1 lakh 1 lakh customer or 1 lakh users data from LDAP, and it will keep it in a Liferay portal. Now what the 1 lakh users who are there in LDAP server, they can able to log in into this Liferay portal. This is one of the big advantage which we can see it in Liferay. And next to that is cache server. Cache server is also nothing but it's also a single sign on, similar to LDAP server. LDAP has been configured here, and there is a different there is a separate cache server that we need to configure it. And we can also keep it in one server where the Liferay portal serves. Better we used to keep it in cache server in different server. And whenever the user logs in, what it will do, it will from the cache we will have a config, we will have the user credentials from the cache. It will connect and it will check over there, and the login page will be a cache server login page. And when the user gives the credential, cache will communicate with the server where the credential is configured, and it once the credential is accepted, then it will send the token to Liferay. Then in that token itself, Liferay get the user details, and it will create the users into the portal. So this also a big advantage which we can see it in Liferay. If we want to use this if we want to use this feature in other websites or other portal, we need to write a bunch of APIs. We need to create implementation for that, and it will take up the time to develop this security integration in that portal. It will take so much of time, but Liferay provides this feature by default. Okay, then this token based SSO, it's similar kind of cache, like how it works with token. We have another option of token based SSO, Facebook Connect. Facebook Connect, nowadays, we wherever we go, we can able to see it in web application, we can see it in Android application. This Facebook Connect gives us the feature to log in with the Facebook credential. If we have, if we in one of our page, for example, in our mobile, we have Facebook, and we have we want to play a game, and there we need to give credential. They might have asked login with Facebook, login with Google, like that options we will get there. But here Liferay also gives that option. By default, we will have a Facebook option. Once just we need to click on the Facebook, Liferay will get the information from the Facebook, and it will allow us to log in into the portal. That features also we can get it in Liferay. And we have OpenID Connect. This is a separate feature. OpenID Connect, OpenSSO. This also similar kind of integrated single sign-on Liferay provides us. Okay. This is the login part, login and sign in part, which Liferay gives us. Then this is the framework which I'm going to talk about it. Just I will take 5 minutes, inshallah. This is the last slide. I think I will finish it off here. And this Liferay, before to bringing up Liferay digital experience platform, Liferay has not introduced this open service gateway initiative framework in its portal. But from Liferay 7.0, they brought up this open service gateway initiative, and they have changed the framework, how it works before. Now from DXP onwards, the work is changed, and how it integrated with each other, that has been changed, and they brought up everything into the module framework. Okay. OSA framework to provide a development environment for modular application. Before to OSGI, before to Liferay DXP, we have a portlet concept. From OSGI, from Liferay DXP, they have brought up this OSGI framework. Here, everything will be in module, and every module can be connected with each other, which can be a loosely coupled. Liferay DXP runtime framework uses the OSGI standard, which is lightweight, fast, and secure. Modules publish service to and consume service. It means that, for example, I have started the portal, and now portal is ready. Now I want to write my code. I don't want to use Liferay codes, I want to use my code. Okay, Liferay gives that option. Liferay has its own IDE, its developer studio. We have Liferay added integrated its feature with Eclipse, and we can able to create Liferay modules. Liferay modules will Liferay modules will give us option to write our custom codes, and there we are starting working on it. See, for example, one is front end part. I have written in one module, and another one is a service part, which I have been written in another module. Now both module has to communicate each other. Both are in different module. This option we will get in Liferay OSGI. See, now both modules are loosely coupled. Like here, I am publishing the service, and here I am consuming the service, and both are loosely coupled. Both are maintained by service registry, which OSGI has. And once we deploy into that Liferay portal, we have a open service gateway initiative container, where it will register the modules. Liferay will register the modules. Whenever we want, we can enable it. Whenever we don't want, for example, if we want to show something to the customer for a time being, and we will keep it for next year, like that options we will get it. At the time, what we can do, we need to install that feature, and we want to remove that feature. Those many things we need to do it if we have a normal portal. But Liferay brings these modules, OSJ container. Here we will get an option to activate it, to stop it, to uninstall it. If you want, we can install it. If we don't want, we will uninstall it. If you want, we can activate it. If we don't want, we can stop it. We have this many life cycles of OSGI and they are more than I think there are so many portlets Liferay provides us. If we even don't want that, we can stop it, because this OSGI gives that feature to stop any bundle, to start any bundle. And module dependencies are managed automatically. Whatever the dependencies we required, that will be taken care by the OSGI container itself. For example, before, when we are installing that module into that portal, first Liferay OSGI will check for the packages, will check for the compatibility, will check for the required dependencies. If everything is perfectly fine, then it will start the bundle. Until unless it will not start the bundle, and it will give you the error, it will throw the message that these packages are required, these imports are required, this feature has not been added. Those things will be given show by the Open Service Gateway Initiative itself. This is one of the big advantages we can see it in Open Service Gateway Initiative. And the container manage modules lifecycle dynamically. Modules can be installed, as I said you before, modules can be installed and it can be started, it can be updated, it can be stopped, and it can be uninstalled. And while Liferay DXP is running, we don't want to stop any server, the complete server will be running, and whatever the modules we are deploying into it, we can stop it, we can start it. It's our wish, and it will not harm the Liferay server. Liferay server will be one part, and our custom code will be one part. Yeah, this is Open Service Gateway Initiative feature, and we have so much of features. If I start to talk about it, it will take the entire day. Those many features Liferay has been integrated by itself. Nearly that just portal itself, we will get it in nearly 600 to 700 MB. That many features has been added in Liferay. Alhamdulillah, Kalim will continue on to it. Yeah, Kalim, you can continue from it.
Yeah, thanks, Arman.
Yeah.
So let me quickly share my screen. Arman, if you can stop it, I can start sharing.
Yeah, sure. I have stopped it.
Okay, so I'll quickly go through this Liferay architecture. So if you see my screen, this is the Liferay architecture where if you see that theoretically, the architecture will be something like this, where we'll have a Liferay and we'll have all the other components surrounded to it. Since Liferay is built upon Java, so we have all the supporting extensions of Java like Spring, Hibernate, all those things. Even Liferay supports it. So if you see, Liferay has a support for Spring, Java, ELB, JPPM, all the other language adapters, and whatever portlets are developed on JSR 168 and 268, Liferay already supports it. So with that, it also has some other external services support. For example, if you see nowadays, the search engine has become the most required feature in the site. So when you come to Liferay, Liferay has a strong strong search engine. So if you see, like we have Solar Search, but in Liferay DXP and above that, Liferay has migrated from Solar to from Lucene to Elasticsearch. Since Elastic is the booming search engine, so Liferay has already provided a support for it. With that, we can also configure other search engines. It is not like Liferay is restricted to one search engine. So Liferay can support for other Solar engines, search engines like Solar or Elastic or Lucene, all those things. So with that also, Liferay has support for mailing, JMS, Servlet, all those things, which you can see on my screen. With that, there are some other collaboration tools. For example, Liferay has the collaboration tools like messaging system, all those things. With that, also social networking systems. So all these features, Liferay already provides it, so which is an inbuilt framework of Liferay. So if you see on my right side, this is the external applications which Liferay gives us support for. For example, if you have built any application on PHP or Rails or ICFAS or OpenOffice org, so these things can be easily integrated with Liferay. So some things like if you don't want to migrate it to Liferay, if you want to run your application as it is in your framework, and you just want Liferay support. So in that case, what you can do is you can use your code in your own framework, and also you can use the Liferay framework for Liferay features by integrating those with seamlessly. So on the right hand side, if you see this is the logical architecture, actual architecture. Liferay has a support for different databases. For example, Liferay can support MySQL or Oracle, or currently Liferay is also supporting MongoDB. So all the different kind of databases which are currently running on the market is supported by Liferay. With that also, it has support for AWS Amazon Cloud, where all our files and documents are stored, which is called as Amazon S3. And also file storage. So currently, like Amazon Liferay is supporting by default Amazon S3. So if you want to change your file storage from Amazon S3 to some other cloud storage, or if you want to maintain your own file storage with your own security or permissions, so even that Liferay provides out of the box for it. So with that, if you see, we have 3 layers. If you see, this is the base layer for Liferay, which is persistence, indexing, and workflow. So through this layer, all the communications happens to the database and the Amazon. Above that, we have a service layer, which is designed by Liferay. So whatever communications or whatever design or whatever business logic you want to write, you will write it in this particular layer. So Liferay will take the responsibility of converting your business logic into the database storage and persistence. So above that, we have a front-end layer. So front-end layer is a very you mean like we have different integrations with Liferay with the front-end. So for example, you can integrate Angular with Liferay. We can integrate PrimeFace. We can integrate Alloy UI. Any kind of AUI framework or Alloy UI framework, it can be integrated with Liferay. So with that, we have also by default, Liferay also supports the web services part. It has basically support by default for two big web services like JSON web services and SOAP web services. So whatever data you have, so it's not like whatever we do, we have to do within the application. You can expose your data to the external world so that other applications can use your data through any API. So by default, Liferay supports this particular thing, and it has all like strong authentication mechanism. You can use the basic authentication, or you can use the OAuth authentication mechanism for this. So if you see on the top, we have different applications which are using Liferay. Okay, so if you see, this is the Liferay DXP feature. Let me explain you one by one. So as Arman explained, it's a modular architecture. Currently, Java 8 has migrated from a normal framework to a modular architecture where all the modules can be loosely coupled. So Liferay is not left behind. So Liferay has also changed from its normal architecture to modular architecture, where all the modules or all the portlets which we create on Liferay is loosely coupled. You mean to tell like it's a modularized. So for example, if you think like if some of the modules is not supported or some of the module is expired, so on the fly you can stop that particular module and you can start the new module, and also you can install or uninstall new modules anytime. Second point is easy of installation and deployment. So Liferay installation is very easy. Like it's a very it's a zip file which is Liferay has provided it. So you can download it and you can extract it, and you can normally, as you start the Java Tomcat server, it's a similar way of starting the Liferay Tomcat server. So Liferay is also using the Tomcat server, so it has support for different servers like a JBoss server or Oracle server. By default, Liferay comes with the Tomcat server. And currently, Liferay has also introduced the concept of cloud. So Liferay Cloud. So if you want to go for an enterprise application, rather than purchasing an Amazon cloud and deploying all your applications, all your modules, and all your code into the Liferay, into the Amazon, you can directly get the Liferay Cloud, and you can deploy all your code over there. So it's pretty much straightforward. And the next is multi-site architecture. So as you see, like other applications where you develop the site, so it has only support for single site. So if you want to create another site, like more than one site, so what you have to do is you have to duplicate the architecture, whatever architecture you have. But what Liferay does is, like in a single Tomcat server, it provides you a multi-site architecture. It means like you can create more than one site in the same Tomcat server. So like if you are having an ABC company and XYZ company, so you can configure both of this company in the same Liferay architecture. So this particular architecture is mainly used like if you have an organization and you have multiple branches across the city, and if you want to launch multiple sites across the cities. So in that case, what Liferay supports is like you can run all these sites in a single Liferay Tomcat server, so that all your code and all your data will be centralized in one place, in one organization, and you can distribute your framework or the architecture across the site. Then we have something called a simple administration. Like if Liferay supports like whatever administration you want to do, like you want to add the user, you want to create an organization, you want to create a site. It's pretty much very straightforward. You have to go and you have to just add the site. So it's a simple administration and easy configuration. And then we have intelligent search. So as I told, like in the architecture, like we have different search mechanisms. So Liferay DXP comes with the Elastic Search engine by default. So if you want more powerful search, so what we can do is like we can create a separate Elastic Search server, and we can bind it with the Liferay Tomcat server. Then we have collaborative tools, like Liferay by default supports collaborative tools, message boards. Like if you are building an portal for your intranet portal for your organization, so you can use the by default existing collaborative tools. So if you are trying to get the users from external environment, like external social media sites, so at that time you can use the Facebook or WhatsApp collaboration tools, which is provided by the Liferay. Then customization and flexibility, like Liferay has extended so much, like whatever customization you want to do on the site, so you can do it on the fly. So we have like something called as content management. We have something called as fragments, inline editor. All those things helps the user to quickly customize the content on the page. Then we have social collaboration. As I told, like we have Facebook and other integrations as well, so we can directly integrate it and we can get the users and all their chats in a common place. Then Liferay maintains this hierarchy, user group, roles, and organizations. So if you have an organization, if you want to maintain the hierarchy, so that you can maintain it with Liferay. So there is no miss in it. Then we have content management and documents and workflow management. So workflow management is again like on content management, like every company has a process. Like if you are writing a content, someone has to approve it, someone has to edit it, someone has to verify it. Only then the content will get finally published to the website. So this particular flow already Liferay by default it provides. So if you are writing some content, you can create a flow based on your business requirements. So if you have like only one container, one content editor where he can edit the content and he can directly publish it, or if you want to create multiple workflows, you have a TL who is editing your content, who is verifying your content, then you have a manager who is approving the content, then you have an director who is finally checking your content and publishing it to the site. So this kind of workflow can be managed with Liferay. So coming to organizations, like this is nothing but the Liferay portal administration. So when you come to Liferay, you can create multiple organizations. As I told earlier, like if you want to create an organization, like if you have a company which is registered in India or in America, and you want to create an organization in India, which is nothing but India organization, and a company in America, maybe a USA organization. At that time, this particular organization structure comes into place where you can create different organizations based on your requirement. With that, also sites. If you want to create sites and if you want to show the different sites based on different regions, so that can be handled with Liferay sites. Then we have something called as groups. So groups is usually created like if you want a set of users to perform set of actions. At that time we create a groups and we assign all these members to the group. And we have as usual roles, users, roles and permissions. Then we have something called as password policies. So every site has the security problem. So, but Liferay has resolved it by giving you the password policies, all those things. Like in password policy, what happens is like you can create, every organization has its own policy. So Liferay has given an option to configure your Liferay password policy. You can change it anytime and you can publish it into the site. So whenever the user is getting created, he has to go through this password policy. 1 minute. Then we have server administration part. So as Arman showed, like we have server administration where we can maintain the complete administration of Liferay. Let me go to the next slide. So roles and permission system. So roles is nothing but if for example, if you have an user in your organization and you want to give him a set of activities to be performed in the company, so you can create a role for it. So roles can be created in Liferay on 3 different levels. One is regular level, site role, and organization role. So these things I'll explain you while giving a demo. Then we have permission system. So also after giving the role, if you want to give multiple permissions for multiple roles, so at that time you can give like a role only for add, a role only for edit, a role only for delete. So these things can be managed with Liferay. So Liferay allows us to easily customize his own portlet. For example, Liferay has given us many inbuilt portlets, inbuilt portlets. So those things, if you want to change according to your business requirement or according to your business needs, what you can do is you can use the hooks which is given by Liferay. So you can customize those existing portlets. So hooks, EXTs, both are almost similar. Then we have listeners and modifiers. All these things we can use. These are the different portlets kind of things which are used by Liferay to to customize the library given portlets. Then if you want to build your own modules, so at that time we can use portlets, themes, and services. Okay. So coming to content management system, so Liferay was very famous for managing this content management system. So whatever content we are creating in Liferay, so if you see my screen, we have different features of CMS. So like whatever content we create, it can be reusable. It can be used across the portal. It can be used in multiple sites as well. So if you want to create any content, we can create it as a structured and template way. So that support Liferay already provides. So for example, if you have any content that should be repeatable in the same page, so at that time what we do is we create a structure for the content and we keep on repeating the same structure. And template is used to display whatever we have created in a structured format. Then we have a versioning system. So like what happens is, like in usual site, when we have a content and when you change the content, we always lose the old content. But Liferay, what it does is it always maintains the version. So if you are publishing the new content, the old content is kept as a backup for it. So the new content is published on the site. With that, also Liferay also provides staging publish. Like if you want to publish publish something at a specific time, so even that Liferay provides. Like you can create a content and you can schedule it. Maybe after 2 days you want to show this content on the site, so you can schedule it. And Liferay, what it does is, by default, after 2 days it will take and it will create a new content and it will publish on the site. On the fly changeable, so whatever changes you do to the web content, it will be immediately reflected on the site. And if you want, as I told, like if you want to schedule it, also you can do it on the same web content. Then we have something called as workflow. So if you have created a content and if you want to go through different workflow, different approvals, so that Liferay has already provided. So inline editor. Liferay, like we have a CK editor, we have CK inline editor. So similar way, Liferay also supports this inline editor. Whatever edition you want to do, you can put it in the same page and you can edit it on the fly. Then we have profiling. Profiling is nothing but like audience targeting or customer targeting. Like if you want to show some content to certain specific people, so those kind of profiling you can do on the content level. So you can give roles and permissions to it, so that only certain users or certain region people can see those content. Then tagging and categorization. So if you want your content to be searchable, if you want to get tagged, or if you want to get categorized, so those things can be handled using content management system. So next topic is customizable and pluggable components. So whatever components, as I told, like whatever components we create, so we can add it to the page on the fly at any time, and we can remove it from the site. And we can also, like it's not like if you have added component to one page, it cannot be added to the other pages. So those restrictions are not there. So you can use those components across the portal, across the site, across the organization. So fragments, we can use fragments also to change the page contents on the fly. So I'll demonstrate you while giving a demo. So pages, for example, if your site is already live, and immediately if you want to do any changes, and if you want to publish a page and you want to create a page and you want to show the content, so Liferay provides on the fly option. So you can create a page, you can put a content on the fly just in 2 minutes. I'll demonstrate you. So let me go through the demo. So I'll be demoing you this Liferay 7.2 TXT version. So installation and server startup is pretty much easy. You have to just download the Tomcat bundle and you have to extract it and you have to start the server and you have to connect the database once it's. I'll directly go through the page and content creation part and I'll give you a demo on control management system. So if you see this page, actually before coming to this call, I just created this particular demo. This is the page. If you want to see, like this is the slider which I have put it. So yeah, so I have not written a single piece of code. It is all like copy paste from the web content. So services page, if you want to create anything, profile page and about us page and contact us page, whatever you want, you can put a form like this. And in future, once you are live, if you want to add any new pages, so you can do it very easily. For that, actually, you need to log in with the admin. So let me log in. So this is the demo site. So once you log in, you see like I have got all the permissions. Like here I have plus button, three dots button, there, here, all these things. So this is nothing but library's control panel menu. So for example, if you see in the home page, I have added this slider. I'll quickly show you, like this is my about us page and here I want to add a new content. On the fly, what I can do, I have to just go and add a web content, add, that's it. If you want to maintain any structure, you can maintain it here, or else you can just give the structure and publish. So here we have a workflow as well. So if you want to go through any workflow, then we can go it. So you see, like as soon as I add the content is available on the page. So anytime if you have the permission, you can edit this content. So this particular editor is a CK editor. So anything you can add it here, like you can add a video, you can add the table, image, all those things. So whatever CK editor provides, all this facility, even this particular editor provides. You see. So as soon as they publish, the content will be available on the page. So this is web content part. So there is one more inline editing part on LivePlay. For example, if you see this page where I have created a page called profile page, and here if you see this is inline editing. Here you will have a button to edit the content on the page itself, so that you don't have to go somewhere. Here if you see, this is called as fragment on LivePlay. So here I'll say welcome, and I can change here. So again, it is same as CK editor. So whatever you want, you can add it. LivePlay has provided you different options of adding the theme, the layout, all those things. So you can utilize anything over here. It has the different components as well. I can put a button inside here and I can see where it goes. All those things. I can put a slider as well. I showed you in the home page. So same slider, you can use it here as well. So see, as soon as I publish, the page or updated page is available on the site. So as I told, LivePlay also provides a concept of staging. So for example, here we have a staging content. So what happens is, like whenever you change any content and you don't want your actual customers to see, you want only your some of the users to see. So at that time, what you can do is you can enable this staging environment. What happens is, like in the same site, LivePlay will create a duplicate site and it will be accessible only for certain users to whom you give permissions. So they can again see what changes you have done. If they approve it, then they can publish it directly to the site. This is again kind of workflow. And with that, Liferay has also provided support for this simulation. So since whatever site we develop is based on mobile first device, so whatever we are writing here, so you can see the, since this is an HTML editor, so it's your responsibility to write the content in an responsive way. But Liferay provides you a simulation rather than going to the control panel and seeing in different devices. Liferay has provided you a support here itself, so you can see what changes, how your changes looks in different mobile or different screens. You can even set your custom height. Okay, this is regarding the front end part. I'll just quickly show you how we can add a new page and how I can show content. So here on the site builder, I have pages. So I can add a new page called widget page demo. I'll just add it. So while adding, I can set the column. So I'll set first column here and I'll just quickly save it. So when you come back to Liferay, here you see the pages available here. So now what you have to do is you have to just go and create a web content. Add the web content here, add the content here. Basic web content. And you publish it. So within 5 minutes, your site will be ready and your page will be ready. Okay, so this is the front end part. Now I'll take you through the coding, the control panel part. So here, if you see, like this is the control panel section of Liferay. So by default, Liferay supports all those things. For example, if you want to manage your users, so you can create a users and you can create organizations here, like this. So also you can create different user groups. As I told, like you can create a group and you can add members to it, and you can give this group a certain roles. So all the members inside that group will have the permissions to do those activities, whatever we have given in the role. Here we have roles section, like administrator, all those things. So if you want, you can create a new role and you can give permissions only to specific things. So all those things are possible here. Then we have something called as password policy. So Liferay has a default password policy, or else you can add a new one. So I'll just show you what this policy means. So what this policy does is like password change. If you want the user to change his password, so you can set this as changeable. So if this is checked, so once in a while, so the user will be asked to change his password. So based on the organization need, we can make this policy. So change required. So if you have set a password and you have given it to the user, so when he is logging in for the first time, so you can tell him once you log in, you have to change the password. So those configurations can be done here. And the minimum age and the maximum age, all those things. So minimum age is nothing but like if you tell like your password is available only for 1 hour, so you can he can use that password. After 1 hour, his password will get expired. So those things he can manage. Reset, like this is like if someone has requested for password reset link, so he can that link when it has to expire. So those configurations can be done here. Then we have called as password syntax. So while creating the password, if you want like one minimum alpha character, so you can define one. What is the minimum length of your password? So those things can be defined here. One minimum lowercase, all those things. So if you want to write any custom password policy, then you can just write a regular expression here. So this will make sure that while creating the password, you are following this syntax. So we have something called as password history. So password history is like it will check how many times you have logged in, how many times you have done your failed logged in, all those things. Again, password expiration. So once I enable this, so after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so your password will get expired. So that after that, automatically the user will not be allowed to log in. Lockout option, if someone is trying with your username and password for more than 1 or 3 times, which I have configured here, so automatically his account will get logged out. Then what we can do is we have a setting here telling after 10 minutes you have to unlock the user, or you have to wait for the administrator to unlock the user. So those all configurations can be done on Liferay. Then this is the site part. As I told, like we can create different site. Like if you have a company called ABC, so you can create ABC company, and you have another company called XYZ, so you can create it XYZ. And also, like if you have one company and you have multiple branches, so those configurations and those number of sites you can create it over here. Then we have like something called as license manager. This is for maintaining Liferay's license. So this is not that much required. Here, if you see, like Liferay has different settings, virtual instance settings. So you can configure your domain over here, and you can just give like how many users, what is your mail domain, how many users you are allowing to that particular domain. All those configurations, which is one time to be done on the Liferay. Then if you see, I have something called as the system settings, where you can see all the settings you can do. You can configure your infrastructure. You can configure a localization. Localization is nothing but if you want your site to be displayed in multiple languages, so that you can configure it. But of course, whatever custom code you are developing, you have to maintain those language manually. Then we have something called as API authentication. Like as I told, like Liferay is not only the composer, it is also the exposer. Liferay also exposes the API. So whatever API Liferay is exposing, so you can give an authentication for it, and you can manage it from here. Then we have something called as audit. So whatever actions you are taking, or whatever other users actions you are taking, you can always audit it, so that the administrator can track if something goes wrong onto the system. Then we have LDAP, OAuth, as discussed, all those things. Quickly, let me take you to this min configuration, server administration. So here, if you see, we have something called as garbage collector. So as you know, like Liferay Java needs a garbage collector. Like if some memory or object is been occupied by the Java JVM, so Liferay, I mean Java has its own timing to collect those garbage and free up the space. So what you can do in Liferay is, since Liferay is built on Java, so Liferay should also support this garbage collector. So automatically garbage collector will happen. If sometimes if it does not happen, so you can manually trigger the call from here. Thread dump. So thread dump is nothing but the whatever threads are executing in the system. So if you want to take that thread dump, and if you want to analyze what is going wrong, where is the slowness, or where is the actual issue, so at the time you can take the thread dump of your Java application. So from here. With that, Liferay has the caching mechanism. Like Liferay has caching at multi-level, so it can catch on the same cluster, or it can catch on multiple clusters. So clearing those cache content across the cluster and on the same VM. So these things Liferay has provided a support to execute all those things from here. So Liferay also supports like database cache, so persistence cache. So like how Hibernate has its own caching mechanism, so Liferay also has the same caching mechanism which Hibernate uses. It keeps a layer above the persistence layer, and it keeps all the cached data from the database in that cache for faster access of those things. So in the similar way, we have all the other, let's say, configurations provided here. With that, we have something called as mailing system. So if you want to trigger any email from your Liferay system to external things, so you can configure it over here. You can provide all these configurations. So when you just do any activity, if you want to send an email, so you can configure it. So Liferay will take these configurations and it will trigger the email. Similar way, we have something called as external services. So if any external services other people are providing, so you can integrate it with the Liferay and you can install it in our Liferay system. For example, ImageMagick or Juggler, all those things. Liferay has already provided the support for it. Then we have something called as a script. So Liferay provides running this particular script. So if you want to see what is the value in the database, or if something goes wrong in your code and you are not able to debug it, so what you can do is you can change your code from Java to Groovy script, and you can directly run here and you can test it. So this is nothing but JUnit kind of thing. Like if you want to check what is the value, where it is failing, so all those things you can run directly over here and you can see it. Then the last option I'm going to explain is shutdown. Shutdown, whenever we are going for maintenance, right? If you are telling your system will go down in 10 minutes, then take all your data backup, all those things can be configured over here. So you have to just put a number over here and you can give a custom message over here. So as soon as you click on this particular button, so after till this minute, the system will be showing the custom message on the screen telling your system will get shut down in so and so minutes. So please take the backup. So those configurations, Liferay can do it. So that's it from the demo part. I'll quickly cover the last slide. So carriers, we at Nanoton Technologies, we are actually focusing only on the open source technologies. So currently, as we are Liferay, so we are currently focusing on Liferay. Also, we have Java and Spring openings in our company. So that's it. So if you have any questions, you can shoot it to me.
Jazakallah, Abdul Karim Bhai and Arman Bhai. It was really a nice presentation and got to learn so many things that Liferay has to offer, and so much easily we can do so much in Liferay. It was really interesting to hear about that. So yeah, we can take a few questions if there are any from the audience.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Naziria. What is the cost of training and what is the duration? Could you provide?
Nasir bhai, actually, these things we need to chop it out. So you can share us your details. We'll drop you an email on this.
It's Nazir at Nexus.
Yeah, actually, it is based on the requirement. Like if you have already covered your Java, Spring, Hibernate, then it will be very easy for you to train on Liferay. So that training will be different, and training only Java will be different, and training a Java fresher will be different. So it's based on the scope what employee has. So based on that, we can decide it, Nasir bhai.
Thank
so
you.
Kalim Bhai, in the chat box, if you drop your email ID and your phone number, then others can also note and contact you. So that will be much easier.
Yeah, sure. I am writing my email address here. You can drop me. This is my personal email address. You can drop me any email on this. You can also WhatsApp me on the same number, or you can call me at the same number.
So, Kalim Bhai, which are the famous websites that are developed using Liferay?
Yeah, actually, currently, like whatever we have worked till now is all intra portals. So internet portals, if I can quickly show you.
No, others I'm talking about.
Yeah. So currently, if you know this UADAI, it's Aadhaar card portal. So this particular portal, Liferay, has been developed on Liferay. Uh, it's a Aadhaar card. If you want to change your address and if you want to do any changes on your Aadhaar portal, so Aadhaar card, you have to go to that portal and you have to raise a request. So that was developed on Liferay. Then we have something called as Stock. This is one of the famous portal on Liferay. And with that, even HP has developed called as HP Partner. So this is only internal to its employees. So if you have VPN access, I can show you. Yeah, I think also Vodafone or Airtel, some big, one company is using Liferay portal.
I guess more of functionality than we can use of it, not for the end user, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually based on the functionality. Like if you want a portal with multiple sites and multiple organizations, mainly at that time people concentrate on going to Liferay.
Is there any language barrier? Like, can we use .NET in this?
What Liferay does is like it provides supports for other applications to integrate. In Liferay itself, it has provided a framework support, iframe support. So if you want to display your language or if you want to display your content, then you can directly show it on over here. But if you want to migrate your data from .NET to Liferay, then you have to write a code to expose your service, which Liferay has already given an API to consume the services.
And so it's only for the API it can be done. There's no direct usage.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, Karim bhai. So you mean to say you have a proprietary language for Liferay itself, for writing any PLC, any procedural language things in Liferay? You have your own procedural language like Java or .NET as well.
I think I got confused with your answer question.
Actually,
so what Liferay does is Liferay provides a support for multilingual. So here, if you see, I'll just quickly show you the administration part system.
I'll repeat my question. I'll repeat my question. What I mean to say is, like some applications they use .NET, some applications they use Java. Likewise, Liferay it has its own language.
Yeah. Liferay is built upon Java.
Java, okay.
Yeah. So Java, Liferay uses its own Java framework.
Okay.
Upon Java framework, there is like Spring Hibernate, right? Like in similar way, Liferay has built its own framework, but it also supports Strings and Hibernate.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And and that application, whatever you are going to build in Liferay, that will be based on Java.
Yes, Nasabi.
So any corrections, any customizations, you will be doing in Java.
Yes,
that's what I understood. Yeah.
Exactly. Finally, we will be writing all the codes in Java only.
Actually, we have a two-part here. One is theme, another one is development, portal development. For theme, we will require much integration of technologies, like we need a script, whatever the PL script you have said, right? Those Liferay will take care of for building the theme. There, once the theme will get built, we will use CSS scripts and all there for look and feel of that complete portal. and for the development and services, we will use Java over here.
Got it. Yeah,
I
got
have
it.
one more small query. Like, well, if you make a comparison between WordPress and this, can you just quickly summarize? Like,
Yeah, as far as I understand, WordPress is built on PHP, and I am not sure whether WordPress has support for multi-site and multi-organizations kind of thing. So when you go with the WordPress, you have to you have to build a site on a single site, and it's all PHP based. So security wise, you will have a concern on this. So since Lifer is built on Java, so it will not have any platform dependency, or it will not have any security issues on this.
but the usage will be same, is it? For example, the best thing is CMS part in WordPress. So building a website is very easy. So even a novice can do that. So is that easy to use Liferay and do that? Build a website for graphics and all?
Actually,
Yeah,
Kalim, can I tell him?
yeah, sure.
See, actually, WordPress, when you compare the WordPress with Liferay, Liferay has many features. In that features, we have one features called plug and play. This is one part of Liferay. It has one feature. That one feature is the complete WordPress. Complete WordPress, you will have a plug and play option. Just you will plug and play into that WordPress, and you will write your content like that. But if you come into the Liferay, we will have a page fragment option. How WordPress works similar way, it will also work like Kalima has been demonstrated on that. Whatever I know is that the WordPress, whatever the functionality given by WordPress, the same functionality you can expect it from Liferay. It's a one part of functionality, and we have multiple functionality in Liferay. That those many features will not be available in WordPress. Just it WordPress is mean for developing a website, that's all. But here we have a lot of features, we have workflow, we have customization, those many things you can be expect in WordPress.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Like, what I just wanted was like, it's really good information. I wanted to know about this. The other my question is like, how about the usability? For example, as I was telling, like, the novice can work on with little exposure on the WordPress. They can work on it easily. Drag and drop options, all the themes. Is that same theme? The themes can be imported here, and it can be worked.
Theme in the sense we need to create, it's a customization, right? Liferay gives us two themes here. If we want to develop our themes by ourselves, we have a UI, and we want to create by ourselves, then Liferay provide us a tools to create a themes. Once the themes created, then we need to apply the CSS, we need to change according to our
No,
requirement. That
there might be
features Liferay.
ready-made themes available, right? Which may have to purchase.
No, here it's not purchase things. We need to write our code. Just we need to write, customize our code with the theme. Theme will be provided by Liferay tool, and we need to customize according to our project. That's all.
So directly we cannot purchase and use the ready-made theme. Yeah.
A ready-made theme here, there will be for in WordPress, there will be a different kind of theme which will be provided for you. There you will select the themes, right? But here it's different concept. Liferay provides a few themes. If you want to customize yourself, you need to write the CSS code, and you need to change according to you. That Liferay provides over here.
Okay.
Because in WordPress, the theme will be particular to that portal, particular to that website itself. But here the theme will be complete to the entire portal, not for the website. The complete portal, we need to reflect the theme, so that Liferay provides a theme generator. From the theme generator, we need to customize the theme.
And one more point here, like the whatever theme is available on WordPress, so we can't use those themes on Liferay because that is built based on WordPress framework, and Liferay has its own theme framework requirement.
Okay.
So though both the themes will not match. If you are developing themes on LiveRay, so you can't use that on WordPress. If you are developing theme on WordPress, you can't use it on LiveRay.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any other questions, or we can close otherwise? Okay, Jazakallah, Kaleem Bhai, Rahman Bhai, and all the participants for this interesting and wonderful session. So inshallah, we'll keep on having such regular sessions every weekend. So you can join, and you can also invite your other friends also who can benefit from these. And if you are willing to take expert session on any of the technology that you are expert on, then please feel free to contact me or anyone else in the team, and we can schedule that, inshallah. So with that, we'll close this session. Thanks to everyone, and Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, Saif bhai. One thing, finally, I will tell that we are even looking for freshers who are well in technology, in Java and all. So we will give them a career, and we will train them with good opportunities in big MNC companies. Alhamdulillah, we are looking for those intelligent technical people. Even if you have any friends, or you have any in your circle, you can give us the reference so that we can able to make them career.
Okay, Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.